The power of a product rule applies when the base of a power is a product. When the base is a product, we apply the exponent, in this case n, to each of the factors of the product. This is really just the power rule applied to each factor with an exponent of 1 in here. So 1 times n, 1 times n becomes a to the n times b to the n. To see why this is the case, we could expand, for example, a base of xy raised to the 4th power. That would be xy times xy times xy times xy, which is, if we were to rewrite those factors, 4 copies of x, 4 factors of y. So xy as a base raised to the 4th power is simply x to the 4th, y to the 4th. And again, if you just want to think of the power rule, x to the 1st, 1 times 4 is 4, y to the 1st, 1 times 4 is 4. It is really common for this next example for students to mistakenly simplify this as 3n to the 5th. Expanding helps us realize why it's not just 3n to the 5th. There are 5 factors of 3 here as well. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So that is also raised to the 5th power. The simplified form is 3 to the 5th times n to the 5th. 3 to the 5th is 81 times 3, I think 243. So since that's a reasonably sized number, we're going to go ahead and evaluate that, 3 to the 5th. Just generalizing that more, even if one of those factors is raised to an exponent, we can still apply this rule. So x times n, y times n. Here we have an invisible exponent of 1. So we're going to do 3 to the 1st power raised to the 5th, 3 to the 5th, times x squared to the 5th power. So that is x to the 10th. Expanding this out, we see we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 3 to the 5th, x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared. That is just the power rule. 2 times 5 gives us x to the 10th. Same thing here, 2 times 3, 6, 4 times 3, 12. Oops, I was supposed to expand it. So partially expanded form means we just get rid of that first round of exponents. Oh my gosh, my handwriting. And then we can keep it like that, seeing that there's m times m times m times m times m times m, which is m to the 6th. And then n to the 4th times n to the 4th times n to the 4th is just n to the 12th. Looking at these examples down here, the coefficient is always the biggest issue for students, forgetting to raise that to the exponent as well. Other than that, we're just multiplying. Invisible 1's here, p to the 8th, q to the 8th, r to the 8th. Invisible 1, so 1 times 2, oops, 8. And then, again, just applying the power rule. 7 times 10, 2 times 10.